What's up, everybody? Crypto Noah back with another video. In this video, we're going to be covering ICHI. It's another concentrated liquidity manager. It's where you can deposit your tokens and it allows you to earn passive income without having to do anything, without having to manage the vaults or anything like that. So in this video, we're going to go through their docs. We're going to cover the risks. We're going to go through the audit. At the end, we're going to do a platform walkthrough. Then at the end, I'm going to tell you if I would use ICHI or not and why. So without further ado, let's hop into the content. All right, so here we are on DeFi Llama under the category liquidity managers. And if you scroll down, you can see that ICHI is number 5 in terms of TVL. They have a total value locked of 22 million. And over the past day, 7 days, and month, there's been a slight increase. Let's click on it. You can see that ever since around October, it's been a spike and they've kind of been sustaining it. They had a pretty big pump here in 2022, but everything was pumping back then. So let's head over to the website and start going through the docs. All right, so it says, what is ICHI? I'm gonna call it ICHI. It says, ICHI has built 2 protocols using factory contracts, yield IQ vaults, or auto liquidity management, and branded dollars, which is stable coins for any community. They have the links, they have a governance token. I'm not gonna talk about the token in this video. I'm not buying the token. I don't plan on buying it, but they do have a governance token where if you hold it, probably stake it, you can have a say on how the protocol works. It says they govern the ecosystem, operate the protocols, and provide accountability for contributors and entities. Then they have their outreach program. Here's more info on the token if you're into that. So let's start with the overview. So it says, what is Yield IQ? It's a concentrated liquidity provision algorithm that generates compelling returns with simple and painless user experience. Users deposit a single token and earn passive returns while the algorithm actively accumulates your preferred token and earns fees. So for those of you who are new to the channel, if you don't know what concentrated liquidity is, it allows you to provide liquidity in the form of pairs. So let's say ETH/USDC on a decentralized exchange such as Uniswap v3, and you can say, hey, only use my tokens when the price of ETH is between $2,000 and $3,000. You can go as wide as you want or as narrow as you want. The more narrow, the higher your passive income, but the higher your risk, and the opposite once you go with a wider range. But it allows your capital to be more efficient, and I always say this is the best way to generate passive income in the history of mankind, because this is the same strategies that traditional market makers deploy in the traditional financial world. And if you guys want to learn how to do this kind of thing and make passive income in crypto and get our buy and sell calls and everything you need to know to become a successful investor, click the link in the description, book a strategy session with one of our Know-It-Alls team members, and we'll see if it's a good fit for you or not. But I digress. Let's hop back into the docs. So it says, yield on ICHI's vaults give liquidity providers an automated liquidity management strategy that accumulates more of their deposited asset, and Yield IQ enables users to accumulate their favorite tokens without requiring their projects providing farm rewards. So it talks about how it works. You deposit your preferred token and get an LP token representing your share in the liquidity pool. 2, Yield IQ deploys your tokens into a concentrated liquidity AMM like Uniswap v3, adjusting the positions based on market conditions. You earn trading fees on your tokens while benefiting from potential appreciation, and then obviously you can withdraw at any time. So now here we are on algorithm design, and this kind of goes into the strategies. So it says the purpose of the rebalancing strategy is to accumulate the token of choice, aka target token or deposit token, as it is the token that the user deposits into the vault. This is important because whatever you deposit, that they're assuming that's the token you want to accumulate. Instead of getting paid in both, it sounds like you'll get paid in one. It says the return profile and user experience is similar to a staking product, but instead of earning additional tokens that contribute to value dilution, Yield IQ depositors earn token rewards in the form of trading fees from liquidity pools. And the depositor's return can be calculated, represented as deposit token denominated in IRR. And we're going to cover that more later here. So it talks about the rebalancing tiers. And they categorize the vault into 5 different states: healthy, over inventory state, under inventory, high volatility, and extreme volatility. And depending on which state it's in, the rebalancing strategy will rebalance accordingly. So let's talk about the first state. This is the healthy state. So this is the state the rebalancing strategy is trying to keep the vault in for as long as possible. So it means that price is basically within the range. So if you look here, this arrow represents price. These are the ranges, so you're within the range. That's good. Then you have the over inventory state. This state is triggered when there are too many deposit tokens. When the vault is in the over inventory state, the rebalancing strategy will position the vault in a way that prioritizes the sale of the deposit token to get it back into the healthy range. So they have an illustration here. So deposit token is blue, the parrot token is yellow, so keep in mind. So when it goes out of the range and you're in the parrot token, it basically locks in the impermanent loss for you, so you can accumulate more of the parrot token because you have too much of the deposit token. This one is the complete opposite, and this is triggered when there are too few deposit tokens, and it's literally the opposite of the other one. Then you have high volatility, and it says differences between the 5 mem, I'm not sure what mem is, and the slow 60-minute time weighted average price, as well as between current price and fast twap, will be used to detect such price movements. By default, a 6% difference triggers the high volatility state. So it sounds like they have them in tight ranges, because if it's something that just has to move 6% to be considered high volatility for a rebalance, that's what that sounds like to me. They don't outline the ranges here, so I don't know. That's just my best guess. And it says in a high volatility state, the liquidity will be spread out into full range for both tokens, making your capital more inefficient. I'm not sure how well this would work. Then you have number 5, extreme volatility state, which is the same thing, but they're saying that extreme volatility is triggered when there's a 25% increase or decrease in price, it sounds like. All right, now let's talk about their internal rate of return. This is defined as the profitability of the potential investment. So it's almost like the APR, but the IRR basically shows how well the pool has done throughout its life. But I wonder if this is factoring in a permanent loss. They don't really show how much data on how their performance of their vaults are. It says IRR provides a representation of the performance of the vault from inception. So maybe they are taking into account a permanent loss, but from the pools I've seen on there, it doesn't seem like it. It says it's important to note that IRR is denominated in deposit asset terms, meaning if you deposit 1 ETH and now have 1.1 ETH worth of tokens in your position, the IRR is 10%. Okay, let's talk about impermanent loss, how they deal with it. So it says, it just explains impermanent loss. Let's define impermanent loss here. So let's say I get in this range when the price was right in the middle. As it's going up, I'm experiencing impermanent loss in the form of foregone opportunities. This is ETH USDC. So as price hits my line and I go out of range, I'm going to be in 100% USDC. So I would have held more, well, depending on how fast it went up, I would have made more just holding ETH. And when it goes down, I'm experiencing impermanent loss by buying the loser. So the more ETH goes down, the smart contract is buying more and more ETH. And once I hit this range, I'm going to be in 100% ETH. However, impermanent loss isn't all bad. There are certain strategies that we show you how to do within our mastermind that the success of that strategy depends on how much impermanent loss you can get. Meaning the more impermanent loss you experience, the better your strategy. So it says Yield IQ manages concentrated liquidity positions to allow users to mitigate IEL while benefiting from higher trading fees. Yield IQ has auto risk management built in, protecting against costly arbitrage and market shifts by using 25+% market indicators. Bruh, I would love to see those indicators. I don't know why they don't talk about them here. So yeah, I would need more info on that. They also highlight all the risk here, and it's the same risk as with anything. You're risking with Uniswap, you're risking deposited onto ICHI, smart contract, impermanent loss risk, market trading liquidity and exchange risk. You know, this is pretty standard. And they have FAQs if you shall have more questions. And then you come down here, you get access to all the contracts, all of the audits. They've had 6 audits. The audits look pretty clean. So the project does seem to be serious, I will say that. And then they also have a bug bounty, so they pay you to find bugs. So that's a really, really good sign. And then look at here's all their official links. They even have an Instagram page. It's not a lot of followers, but albeit still there. Discord has 1,800 members, 136 online, not bad. They've been on Twitter since around 2020. Yep, 2020, 13.8K followers. They're probably all real. Not a crazy amount of engagement, but it's not a ghost town either, so that's not bad. It looks like they've been partnering with some protocols as well. All right, so now that we went through the docs, let's do a platform walkthrough, and at the end, I'm going to tell you if I'll use the platform or not and why. All right, so here we are on ICHI.org. You can see the partners. You know, I've talked about partners in crypto is mainly just like a little plugin, not an actual partnership. News, we already went through the docs. Pretty simple website. Let's launch app. All right, so you can see they're on 3 different chains here. So let's look at some of their pools. So remember, the ARR is not the APY, but it's how the pool has done since inception is what they're saying. So I don't know how long, that's another thing, I don't know how long it's been in inception. So since they've been doing it, these are the yields that they've gotten. A lot of these don't even have it. Let's go to another chain and see. Polygon, 136, 45% on balancer. Here, let's check this out and see what other info we can get. So 45% since inception. Again, don't know when inception was. Get started. So you deposit your balancer. I don't know if they sell it for the wrapped ETH and they just split it up for you so you don't have to do the math or what, but they say on there you just deposit the balancer, it looks like. And then you enter the pool and start earning a yield. See what else they got. Curve, 20%, 16, DPI. Nothing too crazy here. 238. Their best pools are on shitcoins. Let's see if they got anything good on Arbitrum. Just 6 of them. A lot of them don't have yields. I'm surprised the TVL is this high. Must be the team's liquidity. And then just one on BNB. So yeah, not too much here. You click here, you can go to like the governance, Discord, vault metrics. Let's see what this is. So this is just says how much liquidity is in there, but you can't see. Let's see here. Yeah, it just tells you to pull. I thought I was gonna be able to come here and see the actual NFT and maybe see like the ranges, but no. They don't give you a lot of information here. All right, so we just went through the platform walkthrough. It was rather quick. Would I use this platform or not, and why? To be honest, I wouldn't. I'll tell you why. There isn't enough analytics for me to see how the pool has been doing. Like saying how it's been doing since inception. I don't know when inception is. Inception could have been 2 years ago. If that's the case, it's shitty yields. If it was inception 2 months ago, that's not too bad. I can't track the performance. I don't know the inception. I don't know how they actually deal with impermanent loss. They said they have 25 indicators, but I didn't see any of them, so I don't know if they're just saying that. Also, what are the fees? They didn't say anything about fees in the docs, and that makes me think that they have fees that are high, but they don't want to say it, because if there were no fees, I feel like they would be blasting that from the rooftops, because that would make them extremely competitive. Like 99% of these concentrated liquidity managers have fees, and also right now they just don't have any pools I'm interested in. And the ones that I feel like, honestly, I can outperform them. So there's no reason for me to use this platform. I do trust them. They do have the audits. They seem like they're serious. But if I was going to use a concentrated liquidity manager, there are others that I would use first, most of which I've made videos on. So before we wrap it up here, I do have to say this video should not be taken as financial advice, and consult with your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Like we always say, do your own research, but use this channel as a starting point. So with that, I'd like to conclude this video. Guys, if you got value, I ask that you consider subscribing and drop a comment. If you want to learn how to be a professional yield farmer, like I said, click the link in the description, book a free strategy session. We have a course and coaches where we do live calls with people that can be very valuable if that's what you're looking for. But other than that, I'd like to conclude this video. I thank you guys so much for watching. I love every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.